In this video, we'll talk about friction. Friction answers the question, what is stopping you from doing something? What is stopping you from being productive? You can apply the concept of friction in any part of your life. Could be at home or at work, even in your relationships. That's why this concept is so critical when once I modified it for our ADHD brain. Friction is interesting in terms of with fuel, it's so ingrained in our society that we know it instinctively. That's why we don't see it. Friction, on the other hand, we don't even realize it exists because we've never thought to think that way. We're always thought to think about the fuel, the punishment, and the reward system. But with friction, because we are not aware of it, we don't realize it exists. And friction, instead of motivation and intent, it requires us to have empathy because we have to put ourselves in that person's shoes to figure out what is stopping them from doing something. Instinctively, that's what you need to do for yourself as well, but it's not so instinctive as it seems. We forget to put ourselves in our own shoes and ask, what is stopping me from being productive? And even if we ask that question for ourselves, we don't know the answer. That's why friction is so tricky because even if you ask someone, what is stopping you from doing something? Or what is stopping me from not being productive? We don't know the answer to our question because we never realized it or we were never taught to think that way. That's why even asking someone this straight out question, how do you feel? What is making you not do this? It's not that helpful to do that kind of question back and forth. But that's why I'm introducing friction to kind of help us start thinking this way, introducing it to you. So then we can start applying it to ourselves. And friction requires us to ask two main questions. How am I doing it? How are you doing something? And the second question you ask yourself is, what can I eliminate? So when you're analyzing friction in your life, you find what the friction is and then you eliminate it. That's it. It's that simple. That's why the concept of friction requires only a slight tweak on what you've been doing before. Because before, you were likely focused on fuel, the good and the bad fuel to make you productive. Now we're going to shift your mindset into thinking also about friction. You still think about fuel because remember, it's still important, but now you can think about friction as well. And in my 20-year experience with my ADHD and with my son's ADHD, I found that eliminating friction is a game changer and it's so effective. Let me give you an example of friction in the next video.